Elders are often heard reminiscing nostalgically about these good old Portuguese days. So our elders are very happily thinking about those good days, old Portuguese times, the Portuguese and their famous loaves of bread. Now these big loaves of bread they used to make. So those eaters of the loaves eater basically, they must have left the place. They must have gone, but the makers are still over there. We still have amongst us the mixers. The mixers are where the person needs the flour, basically the flour for the bread, right? So these are the mixers. The molders are the persons who are giving bread a particular shape. So then they are after being needing the after needing the flour, there is to be it is to be given in a particular shape, that is to be given. And then we still have among the mixers, the molders, and those who bake the loaves. And finally, the loaves are being baked upon. And then what happened? Those old time, tested furnaces still exist. In the old time, there were big furnaces, basically time tested, which were used for a very long time. Furnace is the hearth where there are the loaves are being baked. Now we have the microwaves and all that, but earlier there were big furnaces. They still exist over there. The fire in the furnaces has not yet been extinguished, means that's not yet been put out, that fire. This line means that these furnaces still exist and they are working upon, people are working upon these furnaces. The third, and the jingle of, third means a dull and the heavy sounds, and jingle means a kind of a ringing sound, like jingle of the anklets and all that. So now the jingle of the traditional baker's bamboo heralding his arrival. So while he's arriving in the morning, right, on his carriage or whatever he's taking upon, he is jingling he's jingling, right, his traditional baker bamboo. So he's having a kind of a bamboo from where he comes up with that noise, with that voice is coming up, and he's heralding his arrival in the morning. Heralding means he is announcing his arrival in the morning. Can still be heard in some places. So in some places that noise, that voice can still be heard, that he's coming up. Maybe the father is not alive, but the son carries on the family profession. Maybe the father is not here, right, but the son is carrying on the family profession of the baking only. Now these bakers are even today known as padder in Goa. Even today these bakers are known as padder in Goa. Now, during our childhood in Goa, the baker used to be our friend, companion, and guide. How? Now, when during our childhood, the author is talking about his own childhood, like during our childhood times in Goa, the baker used to be our friend, used to be our good friend, a companion also, and a guide also. He used to come at least twice a day. So the baker comes in a whole day, he comes twice. Once when he set out in the morning on his selling round, and then again when he returned after emptying his huge basket. So it comes twice, like once he when he moves out from his place, carrying out the things, carrying out many of the things that he is going to sell over there. He carries out that stuff and he goes. And then when he returns, while with the empty basket, because that's all being sold. So two times he comes over there near our place, and the jingling thud of his bamboo woke us up from sleep. So while we were sleeping, that bamboo noise that comes up, and we just get up and we ran to meet and greet him. And why used to do so? Was it the love for loaf? Not at all. The loaves were brought by some Pasquine or Bastine, the maid servant of the house. We longed on for were those bread bangles which we choose carefully. Sometimes it is sweet bread of special make. We don't like when he comes over there in the morning, we just open up our eyes and that has come and we ran about. Are we waiting for the, do we love loaves or bread so much? Not at all. Now these loaves are coming up to us. We eat this up while, because are maybe brought up by some Pascan or Bastine, means they are talking about a maid servant of our house. She must be getting the things. She must have gone to him, purchased it and get it to us. No, We longed on for those bread bangles basically, which we specially choose ourselves as of our choice. Like when we go to a particular place, we eat the ice cream, we simply order somewhere, right? But if someone who's very curious and sees those all particular types of ice creams and makes about his own properly made and baked cone, like first you put the vanilla, then you put the strawberry flavor, or then you put this flavor. So this is what now they are also choosing that bread bangles, which was speciality basically, which we choose very carefully. And sometimes it was sweet bread or special make. If not bread bangles, so there is another special bread which is very sweet kind of that. The baker make his musical entry on the scene with the jhang jhang sound of his specially made bamboo staff. So with that bamboo, he used to that voice that come is with a bamboo staff means that bamboo stick. The noise, the sound that comes of jhang jhang, he makes that musical entry. He used to come through that. One hand supported on the basket, so one hand is there on the basket on his head, and the other which is banging the bamboo on the ground. He would greet the lady of the house with good morning and then place his basket on the vertical bamboo. So the bamboo is having a kind of vertical bamboo, so there is a place on which he could keep the basket from his head over there on the bamboo. We kids, we would be pushed aside by a mild rebuke, and the loaves will be delivered to the servant. So we used to be pushed aside by our parents, or maybe the maids used to push aside that you stay behind that, and then those loaves were given to the servant to take them back to home. But we would not give up. But we don't give up. We would climb a bench or the parapet and be peep into the basket. So we would climb upon, and then we used to just look into the, we want to peep into the basket that what else he has brought for us. And then I can still recall the typical fragrance of those loaves. I still recall the fragrance of those loaves which were there. Loaves for elders and the bangles for the children. So we have the loaves which are there for the elders and the bread bangles for children. Then we did not even care to brush our teeth or wash our mouth properly. And why should we? Who would take the trouble of plucking up the mango leaf for the toothbrush, and why was it necessary at all? The tiger never brushed his teeth. Not hot tea would wash and clean up everything so nicely after all. So this is a kind of humorous that he is saying. He's saying that we don't, if we get that bread loaf or we get that bread bangle basically, which is specially made for children, if we get that stuff and we eat it, we don't care to wash our face, brush our teeth, and all that stuff. We don't care. And why should we care? Who will go and find a mango leaf and then from the leaf, because earlier that times there were nothing brushing and all. So who used to find that mango leaf to do the toothbrush and all? And why is it necessary? A tiger never brushes teeth. So hot tea could wash and clean up everything so nicely after. If we drink a hot tea, it would clean up everything from our mouth and everything will be done in a nice manner. Now let's coming up to the oral comprehension check. Question number 1 over here is, what are elders in Goa nostalgic about? So question number 1 is, what are elders in Goa nostalgic about? So why are they feeling nostalgic? The narrator often finds his elders thinking about these good old days and telling them about the famous breads that date back to when the times Portuguese ruled over Goa. They ponder over the past and tell them that though the Portuguese have left Goa, but the bakers still exist. If not the original ones, maybe their legacy is continued by their sons. Maybe not original Portuguese, maybe their sons because they got married to the local person or like that. So this is how they are taking up the baking legacy on. Now, is bread making still popular in Goa? And how do you know? Yes, bread making is still popular in Goa. It is very evident from the existence of time tested furnaces, mixers, and molders. The legacy of bakers is being continued by their sons, and you will find a bakery in every Goan village, and bread is important part of Goa culture. In Goa culture we have bread, which is a very important part. Now then, the third question is, what is a baker called? The baker is referred to as padder in the city of Goa. Question number 4, when would the baker come every day, and why did the children run to meet him? The baker would come twice every day during the narrator's childhood days, once in the morning to deliver the loaves bread, and secondly in the evening on his return after selling all his stock. And children would go running to him to take that special bread bangles that he had made for them. Continuing from here, marriage gifts are meaningless without the sweet bread known as bol, just as party for a feast loses its charm without bread. So in typical Goa culture, marriage gifts, when we go to gift about the marriage, after the marriage we give some sweets, or before the marriage when we greet some, we are giving the cards, wedding cards and all that. There used to be some sweet bread which is called as bol, and just as party or feast loses its charm without bread, as such, when we are having a party or when we are having some kind of a big feast, when if there is no bread, it would lose its charm. Not enough can be said to show how important a baker can be for a village. So this thing clearly depicts that a baker is having a very important place in the village. The lady of the house must prepare sandwiches on the occasion of her daughter's engagement. So the lady who is living in the house, she should prepare sandwiches definitely on the occasion of her daughter's engagement. Cakes and bolinas are a must for Christmas as well as for other festivals. So these cakes and bolinas is again a kind of a dish which is being made with the bread. So these are the things which are very important in Christmas times and other festivals times. So thus the presence of baker's furnace in the village is absolutely essential, because everyone is going to get the loaf of bread from the baker only, everyone is going to purchase it. So that in every village we used to have, there was a baker every day, every place, in every village. So there was a baker, there was bakers furnaces in which these things were prepared, and they were buying cakes, bolinas, everything was very important. The baker or bread seller of those days had a peculiar dress known as kabai. Now, the dress that the baker used to wear. What sort of dress the baker used to wear? The baker or the bread seller, we call whosoever that person is, had a peculiar dress, what as we known as, it is known as kabai. Now, what is this? It was a single piece long frock type reaching down till knees. Till knees, it's a long frock type piece, one piece kind of. In our childhood, we saw bakers wearing a shirt and the trousers which were shorter than the full length ones and longer than the half pants. So it's a kind of 3-4 pants. So either the shirt or then the pants which is 3-4 length. And even today, anyone who wears a half pant which reaches just below the knees invites the comment that he is dressed like a padder. If anybody else is wearing like the same kind of a dress, a shirt or a pant which is just near to the knees, the pant is not that too long, not that too short, near to the knees, and then they definitely receive the comment that he is looking like a padder. The baker usually collected his bills at the end and of the month. So what baker used to do is, every month if a baker is coming up near to my house every day, I'm going to buy the stuff, buy the stuff, and then I will collect the bills. The baker used to collect the bill at the end of the month. So monthly accounts used to be recorded on some wall in pencil. So earlier times there were no record books, there were no khata book which you call as, nothing was like that. They used to make a record on the walls basically. Baking was indeed a profitable profession in old days. It's a very profitable profession. They used to get a lot of profit also. The baker and his family never starve. The baker and his family, they are never gonna starve. Why? He and his family and his servants always look happy and prosperous, because it is a very profitable kind of the profession. It was very royal profession. Now their plump physique was open testimony. Plump physique means pleasantly kind of a fat body. A baker's home, the people living in the baker's home will having the same personality. This clearly shows it's an open testimony, means it's a kind of a public statement which we can clearly which we can clearly say that this is not going to affect them. And then even today, any person with a jackfruit kind of physical personality, anyone who is having this kind of a physical appearance, jackfruit kind of physical appearance means fat body like that, that is easily compared to a baker. So they compare that person easily to a baker only. They say that they belongs from a baker's family only. Now coming up to the oral comprehension check questions on the same page. Let's go through that. So the first question we have is match the following. We need to match the things. Here it is. As a marriage gift. So what are the things that is been given as a marriage gift for a party or a feast, for a daughter's engagement, or for a Christmas? What are the things that has to be given? So for marriage gifts, we have sweet bread, which is called bowl. Party and feast is incomplete without bread. Daughter engagement sandwiches are to be made, cooked. They have to be made. And for Christmas, we have cakes and bolinas. The next question is, what do the baker wear? In Portuguese days, what do the baker wear and when the author was young? In Portuguese days, the baker wore a unique knee-length frock dress, which is typically known as kabai. So this is what they used to wear. And in narrator's childhood days, he has seen the wearing shirts and shorter pants than usual. So in Portuguese days, they used to wear a long knee-length frock tie, which is known as kabai. And then when the narrator, who was young, in that time they used to wear the shirts and the shorter pants and the shorter usual, other than the usual pants. They used to wear the same. Now, question number 3 is, who invites the comment he is dressed like a padder? So, whom will talk about that he is dressed like a padder? So, during the narrator childhood days, bakers have that particular dress, the one who wears shirts and shorter than usual pants. So, thus, if anyone who is wearing the kind of that pants to this length, they invite the comment that he is dressed like a padder. We will call that person that he is dressed like padder. Where were the monthly accounts of the baker recorded? So the monthly accounts of the baker, where are they? These things are being recorded. The monthly accounts of the bakers were recorded on some wall with a pencil. The next question is, what does a jackfruit like appearance mean? Kind of very fat appearance, right? So jackfruit appearance means a well-built, plump physique similar to a jackfruit. In those days, bakers have a plump physique because baking was a profitable profession. They are earning a lot, they are eating a lot, they are having great fun over there. Now his family and servants never starved and they were all prosperous. They were having good money with them, good amount of money with them. So with this, I'm going to end up my class today over here. Tomorrow, we are going to discuss this thinking about the text and the textbook exercises, right? Tomorrow means I'm going to come up with on Monday, right? So in the meanwhile, you just finish up with your work. Today, I'll be sharing with you these oral comprehension check questions and then the new words, right?